Well, I guess just kind of the first overall question. What's your kind of approach to composing the perfect superhero theme for each kind of individual movie that you're going for?
You don't really go for the perfect theme. You just go for what feels right, and hopefully everybody else resonate with it. For Captain Marvel, I totally freaked out the first couple of days because this is a new character in this universe, and hopefully it's something that people will recognize when they hear as it moves on in other films. And so after a couple of days of freaking out in the studio and feeling like, dang, I got hired and I can't write this theme out. That's it, I'm done. I actually walked out of the studio and just started walking. Just took a stroll, and I started singing. I kind of had an idea of how I wanted the theme to be like. I wanted the first two notes to be different, because a lot of times in these films you don't really have a lot of time to, not many opportunities for the full statement of the theme. A lot of times it's just little hints, just little motifs. So I'm like, how can I make it so that if I have time for just two notes, that those two notes would be different? So I started playing and just singing, and I came up with the theme and sang it on my voice memo on my phone. And I still have it on my phone, and that became the Captain Marvel theme.
So. It's such a great, iconic story for an iconic film.
The thing about Captain Marvel is that I always like to credit Brie Larson as one of the most, as far as the actress, she's one of the most purest in showing emotion. So when I think about wanting to see this movie, I think she's amazing. I'm always interested into the score. I know the score is going to have such a really big challenge because of the story, but because the story has to capture the essence of Brie Larson. So when you think about the process of making this, do you take into consideration what that actress represents as well as what that character represents?
Absolutely. So, for me, Captain Marvel herself, because I knew Brie would nail Captain Marvel, there's no worries there. So, but in terms of thinking about the actual the character herself, I thought a lot about, okay, what is it that I really I want people to feel? And she's a hybrid, right? She's got the human side, you got the Kree side, and figuring out instrumentation and just overall tone in the score that could go in either direction, because a lot of times it's really her humanity that's heroic, right? It's kind of the most powerful thing for me. So that was really important. And also all throughout the film, the Skrulls and everybody, it was just really important to capture the heart of it. Because we knew how to do the big action scenes and how that's going to be. Those are a little bit more, there's a bit more of a formula to those. But the heart, that's what we had to decode.
That sort of fascinates me. You mentioned instrumentation, and I'm a psychologist, and I was writing a chapter on how music impacts people's emotions in film, TV, and media, which I didn't know. We don't learn that in grad school, so I was really fascinated to hear that instrumentation creates a different emotional response for people. When you think about Captain Marvel, are there certain instruments, certain sort of progressions or tempos or anything that you associated with her to try to pull a certain emotion from people?
There are times, for example, in the score that have just solo voice. Like right after she's actually blasted and she's laying on the ground. It's finding those pockets where getting out of the norm a bit. It's a pretty orchestral and hybrid score. And also, I've spent a lot of time coming up with cool synth elements to really bring that too, because when you're listening to just an orchestral thing, that gives you a certain feeling, but as soon as you start introducing these very electronic elements that blend with the orchestra, then you have a totally different feel. So it was just bringing whatever was important for that particular scene, bringing forward whatever needed to be brought up.
So you just mentioned kind of electronic, and do you think there's any sort of superhero that lends more towards orchestral music versus electronic or synthesizer music? Do you think it's certain in the hero itself, or just the context of the movie?
I think it's the context of the movie, but in Captain Marvel's case, for me, it was really her. That was hybrid, so I just really wanted the overall sound to be hybrid. In the film itself, we also have scenes that are very 90s, almost like Lethal Weapon type, you know. So, you know, some of the scenes you embrace the actual surroundings and the story you were telling at that point. But every time it was about her, I tried to capture the hybrid side of her.
So, Captain Marvel obviously was a big challenge. Krypton, another thing that you're credited for. Now, Krypton was on there season 2. The pacing of Krypton season 2 is absolutely bonkers right now.
Oh yeah, just wait.
I'm just wondering. I'm wondering, is it a little bit more challenging considering what's created with season 1 and how that dynamic is completely different from season 2?
Yeah, we had to set up the story, and these are all brand new, you know, characters and situations. So season 1, but season 2, you just keep waiting. It's I can't talk much about it, but it's fantastic.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, it's great.
Can you talk a little bit about the difference between working on a film and working in television? It seems so different in terms of timing and pacing and just everything. How you do both? How is it for you?
We have way less time with TV shows. I'm also in another TV show right now called Stargirl. It's a Jeff Johns show, and
You know about that?
it's fantastic, and you know the pacing of that one is even crazier, and the Krypton, you just have less time. But the one good thing that you do have going for you with TV shows is you establish a sound, and then you know you're with your teammates, everybody, you become a family, and it kind of becomes like this well-oiled machine. You know what needs to get done, so you get very efficient every week. And everybody knows what needs to get done. So and having a canvas of sound, your whole sound palette, your color palette, your instrumentation, all of those things that kind of fall into place. So
Thank you.
all right, thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you guys.